Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Season Ticket 2015 SPL Fall Split Week 4 of my predictions. What an intro. So, last week, Week 3, was quite the upset, honestly. Week 3 was supposed to be, easy fantasy points, and then it kind of looked shaky here with Titan dropping the game to Justice, which is like one of the really lower teams that just came out of Challengers, and TSM dropping one game to Cognitive Gaming, and then Fnatic dropping one game to Team Dig, and then Cloud9 dropping one to Enemy. And then Eager I can kind of see because Denial and Eager are kind of like almost on like the same page. I mentioned in the last week's video that it could be a 1-on-1 split. Was not exactly expecting a 2-0, but I'm not that too surprised as some of these other matches here, which was upset week. So yeah. But let's go into week 4. Starting with Thursday, we have Epsilon Esports versus Myrmidons. Epsilon is the only team right now for the European side for this fall split that is actually undefeated. They've been really dominant this split, which is very good to see. Back in summer split, they were also really strong, so they're just a really strong team, and I can definitely see them taking a 2-0 over Myrmidons. Denial Esports versus Cognitive Gaming. Since Denial, they were able to take games off TSM, Eager, things like that. They definitely show signs of life, and I can see them going a 2-0 versus Cognitive Gaming. Next, we have Paradigm versus Titan, which is a nice rematch from the summer finals. Back in the summer finals, Paradigm did win that fairly well. Let's go check here. I think it was a 3-0. I guess the semifinals. Yeah, Paradigm wins at 3-2-1. Yeah, so I definitely will think that the Paradigm boys can also bring that back and go at 2-0 versus Titan. But it's another one that could end up in a split if Titan can get their stuff back together. AFK Gaming is the only other undefeated team, and they're on the North American side, looking very dominant. But versus TSM, who knows? It could be a split, but more than likely, I think it could be another 2-0. Next, we have Myrmidons versus Fnatic. Fnatic seems kind of on tilt this split, having a lot of 1-1s against Titan, and then losses in previous weeks. We could check back here if they drop a game to Team Dig, and then the week before that, let's see, they dropped a game. They dropped 2-0 versus Epsilon, so it's kind of questionable about Fnatic, so that's why I'm going to leave it a split. But versus Myrmidons, I would kind of expect a 2-0, but I'm not too sure about Fnatic right now. Epsilon versus Justice, a 2-0, no problem for Epsilon. Next, Cognitive versus Cloud9. Cloud9 is another team that's kind of on tilt right now. With them dropping a game to Enemy Esports, that's kind of questionable. So I'm still gonna leave my bets with Cloud9 though. I still feel like they do have it in them to definitely take a 2-0 versus Cognitive. And then Denial Esports versus Team Elevate. Denial easily on that one. Paradigm versus Team Dig. Paradigm should win that one, no problem as well. Fnatic versus London Conspiracy. This could be a very interesting set to watch here. Both are pretty good teams. Fnatic still has all the original roster and all their synergy still, but obviously London Conspiracy, they have 2 new roster changes to their team, so it could be in trouble for them as far as their team synergy. So I'm gonna leave this one a split, but if I was to give a 2-0 to anybody, it would be Fnatic. It's just I'm really not sure about Fnatic right now. Next, we have TSM versus Enemy Esports. Or just Enemy. I need to stop calling them esports because they kind of took that off. So TSM versus Enemy. TSM should win that one, no problem. And then the other rematch from the summer split is the Cloud9 versus Eager. Now this, sorry I keep hitting the mic, but this match happened in the summer split, and Eager was actually able to take a game off Cloud9. Now if they can repeat that, that'd be great, and that's why I'm just gonna leave it just a 1-1 split, because it could happen again. History does often repeat itself. But also, you can notice that we do have the Latin American Pro League here as well. We can get into that a little bit later. So it is week 5 for the Oceania Pro League. I know it's kind of weird. Week 4 for SPL, then week 5 for Oceania and Latin America. As always, the Oceania is kind of one-sided here. As we see, we have our very first set of games here. We have Avant versus Dire Wolves, 2 undefeated teams. So this is going to be a fun one to watch if you're into the Oceania Pro League. I do not watch these matches, I just kind of go my bets with the scores that are on here, so if you're wondering, that's just how I do it. So I'm going to give it a split here. Ivory Gaming versus Snob. Snob's not able to see any wins, so it's going to give it to Ivory. The Chiefs versus the Lore Gaming, just going by the numbers here. The Chiefs should be dominant in that one. And Team Kamikaze, the same story here. Now moving on to Latin America, and they are on week 5 as well. Latin America is also kind of one-sided here. As you can see, we have KLG versus Team Simulator. Is 8-2 versus 2-9. Really one-sided. But what I also notice here is that, oh, okay, these are best of 3. Alright, I should have read that before. But yeah, so I was like, why is there no split button? But they're best out of 3. So these are just what my predictions look like for the Latin America. I'm not going to go through all of them. The only team that I do know on here is Isura's Gaming. That's the only team that I know. I think they're like their most dominant and popular team in Latin America. But yeah, these are just my picks for them. So if you don't have the time to watch these live on Twitch or their YouTube stream, I'll put the links in the description for Smite Pro Channel, which you can go back and watch these matches on your own time, and also Smite VOD channel. They're typically a little bit more quicker than the Smite Pro Channel, but I have them both links in the description, as well as have the Smite Pro League website in the description as well, so you can check out the teams, and the same for the Oceania Pro League. Now that's it for me here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week here again. Peace.